The world record in the men's 3,000 meter, 7 minutes, 39.2 seconds. This one will take a little while, won't it, Marty?
This is an 8-minute race, although last night in New York City, Brian Absher ran 7:41, an American record. Yobes Ondieki was second in that race, so he's running very well. Brian Absher not in this race tonight. I think he's dropped down to the mile. But that was a real bright spot for American distance running. We've got a lot of young American distance runners in this field. Guys like John Trautmann of Georgetown, who's a promising star. And right now, that's 188, who is probably the pace setter. Mike Anthony from George Mason, right behind him. Gawain Guy. Gawain Guy's in third. Ondieki, 228, has already gone into second place. I'm sorry, Joseph Kipsang of Kenya is in second place.
14 laps left to go, so this will be a long race. As Marty pointed out, about 8 minutes. They do 15 laps. 1.5 has been completed, so let's pick up more field activity and go down to Larry Rawson.
Ladies and gentlemen, the second attempt for a world.
And Larry, as you take a look, number 188 out of George Mason is Mike Anthony. Number 228, Joseph Kipsang, running unattached out of Kenya. Coming up on the outside, Ondieki, number 179, former Iowa State runner out of Kenya. So a couple of Kenyans are running 1-2, and Mike Anthony, 180 out of George Mason now, starts to slip back as we've got 11 laps left to go in the men's 3,000 meters. We'll come back and pick up the finish of this race. Lots more coming up from the Mobile One track and field meet. Welcome back to the Mobile One Invitational Track and Field Meet from the campus of George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia. You're looking at Mike Anthony, number 188 out of George Mason University. He's still holding on to the lead with 7 laps to go now. 7 laps to go in the men's 3,000 meters. When will they start to space out? The very tightly gapped again.
Well, right now the pace has been fairly quick, but it just proves how fast this track is because the field has not been stretched out. They haven't dropped anybody. 63 seconds for the first quarter, 64 for the second. It's a good pace. At about 5 laps to go, with a half a mile to go, you've really got to start thinking about your strategy. You have to start thinking about who it is that's in that pack with you, what kind of a kick they have. This is where you have to do your homework. Some people are good kicking from 100 yards out. Other runners can kick from 600 yards out and still hold it.
Marty, we've got a new leader, number 179, right. Ondieki out of Kenya finished second last night in New York in a time of 7 minutes 45 seconds. They did the mile in 4:16. What can you tell from that time?
Not too bad. That's about an 8:32 2-mile pace. By comparison, they went by the first mile last night in 4:10. So this is a little bit slower. Last night, Brian Absher took the pace right from the gun and just ran fast the whole way. Tonight's going to be more of a tactical thing with Gerry O'Reilly in third right now from Villanova in the race. Gerry O'Reilly led the mile up there at the Vitalis Olympic Invitational last night, where his teammate Marcus O'Sullivan ran the third fastest indoor mile of all times, 3:50. So he led the first 3/4 of a lap. We know that Gerry O'Reilly's in good shape. We'll see how he does in the longer race. He's number 180.
And he's out of Marty LaCroix's school, Villanova, on the main line outside Philadelphia.
Just off that lead pack is John Trautmann, number 181 from Georgetown, a great young runner.
He's a sophomore there.
Stride, that's right. He was a miler in high school, a 3,000-meter runner. He's come along very well. Still young compared to most of the fellows that are up there in that front pack. They're a little bit older.
And the front 4, the front 5 with 4 laps to go, definitely spacing themselves out. Ondieki out of Kenya running first. Gawain Guy out of Hit and Run Sports, number 177, running a comfortable second. But now Gerry O'Reilly starts to move up, and Jim Norris from the New Balance track belt, a comfortable 4th. John Trautmann, the sophomore from Georgetown, is running in the 4th spot.
Well, at some point, Ondieki needs to take a long look behind him and figure out who's behind him, because Gawain Guy in second place there used to be an 800-meter runner. He's got a good kick. Gerry O'Reilly is a 3:56 miler now, so he has a great kick. So Ondieki now has to really push his pace and take the sting out of these former milers' kicks who are behind him. John Trautmann in 5th place would be tough on a last lap sprint effort. Gawain Guy now, leading from Gerry O'Reilly. Ondieki was not able to take the pace fast enough. Guy and Gerry O'Reilly on the kick in here.
Kind of ironic.
Coming back here. I spoke too soon. Watch Ondieki try and go by, maybe on the inside.
On the outside, Ondieki, O'Reilly out of Villanova in the second spot, and he gets up to get the win. Gerry O'Reilly out of the New Balance Track Club out of Ireland and out of Villanova. When's the last time a Wildcat from Villanova won a race with a Notre Dame fight song in the background? That's what they were playing.
They'll have to change it too next year.
Here's the stretch run. Watch number 180 coming up in the center of your screen. That's O'Reilly. Ondieki coming on the outside to the left, but it's O'Reilly with a great kick.
Close races seem to be the thing tonight, and once again, that tape is just for the runners to aim at. The finish line was really about a foot earlier, so that race was a lot closer than it looked.
The unofficial results in the men's 3,000 meter, Gerry O'Reilly out of Villanova, Gawain Guy out of the Hit and Run Sports Shop and Track Club, and Yobes Ondieki out of Kenya finished second last night in New York with a time of 7 minutes 45 seconds. Former Iowa State runner got up for the show spot in the men's 3,000.